Hey y'all, it's your girl Nerese, and we are going to be doing this live again. So hold on, give me a second. Okay. All right. So I was just on here, and it shut down, child. So we gonna do this again. Okay. um, because no algorithms against me shall prosper, and no negative vibes against me shall prosper. All right. So here we are back at it again. Um, all right. So I'm just gonna say what I said and just make it a little bit quicker this time, because I think my phone is hot, so that might be why. I don't know. But I mean, now I'm set up. Last time I was getting set up as I was doing this, so we're here in the heart of nature, baby. Shout out to Ralph Smart. I love his videos. Um, Definitely great for anybody on a spiritual journey, in need of motivation. He has great content. Love it. All right. So I'm just going to jump right into it, right? So, self-love through shadow work. What is that? What does that look like? What does that feel like? First and foremost, I'm just going to let you all know I am a constant student of life. And I'm always learning, and I'm not an expert, but I do know that I'm an expert in my experience. So, with that said, I'm going to speak to my experience of what I've learned and, what's helped me, in hopes that maybe it'll help somebody else. So, we got the Sade vibes, we got the Dragon's Blood. Word to Yayo Botanica, because that's where I got this from. And let me tell you, man, this journey, this thing called life, bless me. All right. So first and foremost, I just kind of wanted to talk about my experience, which I was in the middle of doing the first time, but I'm just going to make an even shorter version. So basically, growing up, I was always kind of like that quirky black girl that was like cool with everybody, a little insecure, knew I had some talent, a little bit of spark somewhere in my life, just didn't know how to let it shine. And just kind of like coasted by being cool with everybody, not really rocking the boat or anything like that. And unless I was like in spaces where I was really comfortable and, would share my opinions or, whatever. Now I'm a little bit more opinionated, but we'll get to that point. But, as I grew into my younger 20s, I felt like certain experiences that I would have been able to work through in my teens, I didn't do until my 20s. Like, for example, I always was an artsy kid, but I felt like I couldn't express my art, like, through fashion and stuff like that, because I went to many schools where I had to wear a uniform. And so it wasn't until, like, I was in college or when I was going to pre-college courses at FIT where I got to express my fashion and love for it. But, I had to figure it out, like, in my 20s, like, early 20s. And also, like, dating. I went to an all-girls high school. Although I am bisexual, I wasn't dating in high school like that. Wasn't until, like, maybe my junior, senior year. But, like, I was working, so, like, it was somebody that I had met, like, outside of school. So, whatever. So, but even in that experience, like, I just feel like by my early 20s was when I was kind of like ironing the kinks out of those like mistakes of, self-worth figuring out who I am and what my style is. And I always knew my interest and what I liked, but, really being secure within myself and my talents and having confidence of what I can do and what I can contribute to spaces. And then also being clouded by seeking validation through dating experiences and stuff like that. I experienced learning when I was like 22, 23. And at that time, like, I have an old soul and I like things like, for example, like I listen to Stevie Wonder and I love Shaka Khan and like, the greats, like, old school classics. And, I'm interested in things that a lot of my peers in my like age group weren't really into. So at that time I was like always hanging out at this bar with like, people who are like 10, 15 years older than me. And, even though I had things and attributes that was very mature about myself, I still had certain things within myself that I needed to work through that was very immature and underdeveloped, like my self-worth and self-love and self-respect and all those things, right? So I had several situations where, I just made mistakes in that way, just with like, people that I allowed into my space, not setting boundaries, not speaking up for myself, and just kind of like seeking validation elsewhere and seeking security elsewhere and seeking like safety elsewhere. But, without realizing that I needed to have that within myself. Like, I have to fight for me. I have to defend myself. I have to, love myself enough, to know that I'm worthy of the best things in my life. So yeah, in my early 20s, in that discovery was like, it came in the craziest way because I was starting my spiritual journey, and it happened in such a crazy way. And usually, like, there's this perception to be like have so much fear around African spirituality. And like, when you start a spiritual journey, things could get scary when you don't know what you're doing and you're opening portals and stuff like that, and you don't have a mentor or somebody to guide you, and you're just making all these mistakes and just trying to figure it out. Things can get scary, and they have for me. And I felt like, very alone at one point and just didn't know what the hell I was doing, But you live and you learn. And, those circumstances, I will say the spiritual practice isn't for the faint of heart. And at one point I was like the faint of heart. But I had to grow out of that because I knew that this was a part of my journey. And I knew that, my purpose had to be along this path. So I was like, look, if this is why I gotta walk through the flames to get to the water, then hey, we gonna get to that water. So yeah, I had dealt with a lot of situations where I was dealing with emotional abuse, just like all my relationships going to shit, not really feeling secure within myself. And, but the thing was that I will say, in all those circumstances, the one thing that I knew that I put effort into was going to those relationships in those spaces and being like, look, I messed up here. How can I fix it? Or, and if I didn't know I messed up, please tell me so we can fix this because I see value in you in my life. And then I realized that there was just certain relationships that didn't work, or, when you're trying to do that healing work and other people aren't doing that healing work, or, you're trying to fix something, but they can't, they can't validate or justify their reason to attack you, or, or mentally manipulate you and gaslight you if you heal what's wrong with you. If they don't like the fact that you are confident, you can't heal and be confident and, maintain that relationship with that person. And I realized, okay, this is really how these spaces are, And I realized I was loved and valued when I was unsure of myself and when I wasn't confident. And, everything just shattered. And Spirit has a really interesting way of showing you, you know, ways that you need to trust your intuition and ways that you need to believe in yourself and validate yourself. Because if you seek it through somebody else and, seek confidence through somebody else, they'll feed you anything that'll feel good for the moment, but then they'll know how to manipulate you into doing what they want you to do and use you. And so I was in relationships like that, and it was very difficult because some of that, it didn't start out that way. Like, it was very, like, several year-long friendships, and things just kind of, like, crumbled. And my thing was, like, I was willing to fix it. I was really willing to fix it because, I was aware of my mistakes, and I had the self-awareness to be like, okay, I messed up here. Let me try to heal this. But I realized I couldn't heal with other people without healing me and healing for myself and, getting me right. So I spent a lot of time, the months that I haven't been on here. I spent a lot of time to myself and just really had the self-awareness to be like, okay, what is the shadow work that you need to do, Nerese? And just being like, okay, you got to do this for you. You got to do that for your inner child, the younger you that, is proud of how far you've come because you actually had the guts to get this far and actually, attempt the things that she always dreamt of doing. But, that insecurity that she's felt, we got to heal that. That lack of expression that she's felt, we got to heal that. Like, I got to do that work for baby Reese. And, healing your inner child is, like, real, and protecting that inner child is, like, some real shit. So, yeah, that was, like, revelations that I've had through the years, right? And in that work, and then also just me knowing that, in moments where I felt like the world was against me and, like nobody loved me, I'm not going to claim that, but that's just stating how I felt at that state of mind. At that point in time in my journey. It was hard to get out of that because imagine like the people that you were the closest to, denying your reality and, denying that there was friction in those relationships and being like, oh no, but you should focus on your mental health and really have the nerve to, deflect it in that way. And don't get me wrong, mental health is a real thing and I've seen it and, experienced it. And I feel like that's something that should be taken seriously, especially in the spiritual community. Because, there's people who have spiritual experiences and abilities that don't know how to handle it. And ultimately it forms into mental illness. That's a whole nother discussion. But it's another thing when, instead of other people just stating the truth of what they're feeling beneath the surface, just chalk it up to being like, oh no, it's not even that big of a deal. It's not even a problem, because that's called gaslighting. And when it happens with multiple people, it's called tribal gaslighting. Like there's terminology for this shit. And it's real things that people actually go through and shit that I've experienced and went through. And I realized, okay, so I know I can't heal with you because we're not even going beneath the surface and talking about what needs to be healed. So I have to do this on my own. I have to heal for me. So, I had to get to the bottom of really understanding, okay, what about me don't I like? What are things that trigger the emotion of guilt and shame? Is it my dating experiences? Is it, my body image or whatever it is? What are those things and how can we change that? And I really took the time to validate myself and remind myself, like, you that girl and you've always been that girl. Even when you were that young, insecure, awkward kid, you always knew your talent and you always knew that there was a light and that you had purpose, and that you have a good heart, and you have great intentions, not only for yourself, but for humanity and the greater good of other people. And I just didn't know how to let that shine. And then I didn't know how to protect that light either, because there's one thing to have self-love, but you have to protect that love too, because when people see you glowing, if you're around the right people, they gonna cheer you on. They want to see you shine. They want to see the best in you, and they're like, ooh, okay, you got a glow. Yes. People like that, peep that, pay attention to that, and keep that around you, because that helps you heal. And also giving that energy back, hyping people up when they low, or just randomly just raising people's vibrations. But if you got people that when you start growing and you start opening up and really expressing yourself, and they like, oh, you acting different, or just that stank energy, cut that shit the fuck out. We got to cleanse that out. Saging to that, okay? I mean, this is dragon's blood, but dragon's blood is white sage, dipped in stuff. But anyway, cleansing that out. But speaking more to the people who cheer you on when you're celebrated, when you shining, and when you doing better, and then you improving, and they're like, yes, I see you, look at you glowing, oh, you got this going on, oh, how can I support you? And and genuine support, okay? Because another level of toxicity that's really real is people that front like they supporting you just to kind of low-key peep what you doing, and kind of like sneak and infiltrate, like a Trojan's horse type of situation, where it's like, oh, we come here bringing gifts, but then really trying to dismantle what you got going on. Be mindful of that, because that shit is legit too. Anyway, but the people who really cheer you on, and when you're low, plant seeds of healing for you in the smallest of ways, whether it be like somebody recommending a book for you, or just saying I'm praying for you, or you were on my mind, I hope you're doing well, and and you feel that. It's one thing to hear it, but it's another thing to feel it too, and feeling it with your intuition and not out of fear. Because early on, I've dealt with so much experience with the mental abuse, and just self-doubt, and not believing in myself, and just feeling like, feeling fearful, and just feeling like unaligned. And there was moments where my intuition was right, but I was just so clouded by low vibrational energy, I couldn't be focused with it. So that's a whole nother thing too. But man, we talking about it. But yeah, so I had to do that work. And remind myself, like, despite your mistakes, you're not defined by them. You are beautiful just as you are. A quote that keeps coming back to me, and I keep hearing, that a spiritual leader of mine said to me, it's okay to be a work in progress. You can be a work in progress and a masterpiece simultaneously. And it's okay. We are all masterpieces. We are all masterpieces, and we're all a work in progress. There's always more to learn. There's always somewhere to grow. There's always something that can be improved. But even in that, just knowing that you're worthy. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of good experiences. You're worthy of good people, good relationships. You're worthy of the best things in life that it has to offer. God wouldn't put you here if you weren't. You're worthy. It don't matter what you've been through, what trauma you got, what stuff that you need to heal. You are worthy of the best things in your life. You're worthy of loving yourself and knowing that, yeah, you deserve it because you're here. Not because you've done anything, or because you've helped the people, or you've done philanthropy work. You are worthy of the best love because you're here. You're worthy of having a happy life. You're worthy of experiencing your dreams come to fruition. You're worthy of all of that because you're here. So yeah, I had to get to that point. And it's one thing to say those things to yourself. And, at first you don't believe it because you're so used to this ideology that you have and ruminating negative thoughts. But every time you have a negative thought, dead that shit and think the complete opposite of what it is. So it's like, all right, you put on an outfit. And another thing is, it's okay to not like certain things about yourself, but know that you can still love yourself still. Like, I have insecurities still, but I know, like, I'm lit, I'm popping, okay? And with my insecurities, I know I'm a beautiful soul. I know that, and I believe that. And I've always been that way. Even at my worst, I'm still a beautiful person. And I know at that point that was a mistake and a lesson that I needed to learn so I can evolve and be a better person today and continue to evolve so I can be better in the future. So, what I'm really getting at here is the shadow work, doing the work, and then constantly doing that work until you get to a point. Because it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. You could watch all the motivational speeches and still feel like shit the next day. But you keep pushing and you keep working and you keep listening to it. Even if it's the same video that you just got to keep drilling into your head, that'll ultimately be drilled into your subconscious until you believe it. Until you believe, yeah, I'm worthy. Yeah, I'm worthy of success. Yeah, I might not have it right now, but I know I'm going to get there. I might not have it all figured out right now, but I'm still a dope person. I might not know all the things that I want to know, but I know I'm smart. Shit, I might have made those mistakes. I might have hurt those people, but I know that doesn't define me. And I know I have a good heart to even care to try to fix those things and try to heal those things. But as long as you know that within you, regardless of how many people try to tell you otherwise, regardless of how many people try to be like, oh, you not it, let me tell you something. That song, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. Look, there's this quote or this joke that Cat Williams says, and I think Sweetie had mentioned it in an interview. I think it was from the Pimp Chronicles that he did in ATL. And he was like, if you got 11 haters, you need to find out how you can find another one. Because, your haters are your motivators. And you ain't popping if you ain't got one, basically. Or got some. Not that you want to focus on that, but sometimes your haters knows your worth and knows your talent and your skill more than you do at certain times, and that's why they be coming for you. And it's like, you have to know that you popping, and every now and then it's okay to get down for a day, and it's okay to have those moments where you're like, damn, I'm not really feeling myself. But you have to have more belief in yourself than your haters do, because they really believe in you. They really low-key fans, for real. Low-key fans. They just confused fans, baby. They confused fans. That's what it is. Because they will check your every move, see what you doing. Oh, she not going to do this. Oh, But they really clocking because they admire it. It's okay, give them something to see, but you don't want to focus on that though. I'm not saying that that's the focus, but knowing that your haters be hating because there's something to hate on. And when you're feeling low and you feeling like you not all that, and you feeling like, sometimes you got to look for that motivation within your haters. I'm like, damn, they giving me such a hard time. I wonder why, And realize, yeah, because I'm lit. Shit, I'm really all that. Damn, like I do this. I care about the community. I really take time to, work out and take care of myself. I try to send love where I can. I forgive the people who's hurt me, even though I don't forget it. But you have good intentions. You mean well. You try to put good energy out how you can. You got your flaws, but you bounce back from it because you lit. Come on. Fuck these haters. That's really confused fans. Look, okay? I needed a second to sip my water. We gonna have to cleanse on that one. Okay, hold up. We got a sage to that. Because look. Ooh, child, the flames. Come on. All right. Sorry, I had to go off on that one for a second. I had to get that off my chest. But, you know, your haters try you because there's something there, you know. There's a light there. Sometimes they see that light more than you do. But you got to get up in that mirror real quick and be like, where that light at? Where is this? Where my light at? Oh, it's right here. Oh, it's right here. Oh, it's right here. Oh, it's here. Where's my light? Okay, all right. And really, wherever your gift is, fall into that. Okay, so enough of my preaching. I said I don't be preaching, but you know, sometimes spirit just be moving through me. And you know, I just got to get the word out. But there were certain things and certain notes that I wrote down, right? And certain things that can be taken to action, right? Okay. So, self-love through shadow work. Shadow work is really looking at the deepest, darkest parts of you and really looking at it with a clear view. The parts of you that you try to sweep up under the rug, the parts of you that you try to suppress, the parts of you that you have shame of and regret. Looking at that and addressing it and seeing why you fall into those cycles, and then having love for that version of you. Oh, excuse me. Having love for that version of you and saying, you know what, I made that mistake. I'm not going to hold on to the shame because I don't claim that. I'm going to release it. But I saw that version of me. I see that version of me. All right, hold on. The music done stopped. But I see that version of me, and I hold that version of me with love. And know that even in that space, she's deserving of love. She deserves to be seen. I will not feel shame for her. And know that I can look at her and look at the mistakes that she's made and evolve and grow from that. Okay? So that is that on that. I know my laptop is about to die soon. So we're going to cherish the day. Okay? All right. So, and when you get to that space, man, I tell you, it feels so good. When you could really let go of perceptions put on you, or just anything that resulted you to feel uncomfortable in your skin, and just releasing that, man, the freedom. The freedom, baby. Okay, so my notes, right? The one thing that I wrote down was, if you could block out the thoughts of the world and the opinions of others and just everybody else that's not you, how would you feel about yourself? How would you feel? You know, without, you know, social media telling you that you need a Brazilian butt lift, without, you know, your friend over here saying, you know, your hair look crazy. It might look crazy, you know, but just blocking all of that out and really think, how would you feel about yourself? And just think about that. Write it down. Write it down, actually, and really get it on paper so you can look at it, you know, for what it is and really tackle it head on. And then when you really think about how you feel about yourself, are those feelings that you really feel, or are those thoughts that were placed onto you by others? And really decipher the two. Anything that you feel like was placed on you by others, by other people's opinions, just X that shit out right then and there. I mean, yeah, you still might feel that just because you've been listening to it and you've been hearing it, but really decipher between the two things, that this wasn't even a thought about myself that I had. This was something that you was saying. You know, this was something that they was saying over here. I don't even feel that way about me. You know? So really, really decipher that. Hey, how you doing? How you feeling today? Let me know. You know? So that's the thing. So we talking, just so you know, we talking about self-love through shadow work. First thing, if you could block out the world, block out people's opinions, block out social media, how would you really feel about yourself? Like really, what? Social media and the computers and your TV and the news, how would you really feel about yourself? You know? And then when you figure out how you feel about yourself, think, are these feelings that I truly feel about myself, or is these feelings that I've adopted based on other people's thoughts put onto me? Like if you got, you know, your parents saying, oh, you need to do this, you know, you should be like this, you know, or you got your job saying you got to do this, you know, and so, and then certain things you start to internalize, you know, regardless of how strong you are or how strong-willed you are as a person, certain things you internalize into your subconscious, and you really got to think, okay, is this really how I feel about myself, or is this me internalizing how you feel about me? Or, and it, honestly, the real tea, hey, yes, I receive it. I receive the good vibes, and I send it back to you, love. Sending you back the good vibes. Thank you for popping on through, okay? Yes, to the love and ashe. But really think about, you know, those thoughts. And then and the thing is, the thoughts that other people put on you aren't even about you. And you really gotta realize that you can't take things personal. And I used to take so much personal. So much. I used to be like, they're talking about me, they saying this, they not really saying it, but it's indirect, I feel it, this and that. And you know, just me just internalizing all these things. And it's not even issues with me. It's issues about them and how they perceive whatever they're trying to project on me. You gotta let them have that shit. That's theirs. Okay? Any negative vibrations or negative opinions or emotions that don't really come from you just having a genuine insecurity within yourself or because somebody else told you, that's the first thing that's gotta go. That's the first thing. Get that up out of here. Okay? Up out of here. Okay, we got a sage to that. Sorry, I got a lot of ash because it was sitting here burning, you know. We got sage today. Hold on. The flames ain't hitting enough. Look, it's a journey. Let me tell you, this is something that took me 2 years in the making. Probably longer than that. But insecurities that I felt over the years. But I finally got to a space where I'm like, you know what? Even with my insecurities, I'm lit. Fuck what anybody talking about. But it takes time. And every now and then I still have a day where I'm like, look, this look is just not hitting, or I just really don't like this part of my body. But knowing that it's okay to not like certain things about yourself, because we're not going to think that we're perfect and everything is right, but knowing that it's still okay to love yourself. Okay? But we got to sage to those emotions and those negativities that's placed on us by other people. We got to sage to that. Ooh, child. So we got to clear that up out the airwaves. Any negative thoughts and negative vibrations that's been placed on us, that's been trapped in our subconscious, I release it. I release it from anybody who's currently watching and anybody who watches the playback. May we release those negative vibrations that's been placed on us by other people, because it does not belong to us. It belongs to them. And it's really not even about us. It's really all about how they're perceiving certain energies, something within you that they're bothered about themselves. So we got to let that go. Okay? We're clearing that up. Getting that up out the way. Okay? So after we've done that, right? Hold on, let me see what my battery is, because I have to cut this video soon. Because last time I started recording, and I was maybe like, I don't know how many minutes in here. But I was in here for a minute and it just shut off and I was upset. Upset. Okay, right. We got to clear that out. We got to clear that up out the way. And, you know, I had the Sade vibes going, but my computer is about to die. But we going to end on No Ordinary Love because, you know, Sade just has this, like, healing vibration to her. I swear her music got to be in 432 hertz something. I don't know what it is, but she's just got that energy. And, you know, the computer might die, so that's fine. But all right, anyway, so after we've gotten those negative thoughts that don't belong to us out the way, we got to get to the root of, like, okay, how do you truly feel about you? You know, like, how do you really feel about yourself, the good and the bad? You know, it's like, all right, I don't like this attribute about myself. And it's not because anybody said anything, but it's just like, you know, period. Yes, she does. She really does. Okay? But really getting to the root of how you really feel about yourself. And when you get to that point, there's this Maya Angelou quote that I love so much. And you might have heard it, that goes, if you don't like something about yourself, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Very simple, but simple to understand, but hard to do. And it takes time and it takes work. But that's, yeah, if you something you don't like about yourself, and there's no shade to, you know, because I mentioned earlier, you know, social media got you thinking that you need to get the Brazilian butt lift. But, you know, say if you take that out and you still feel like, nah, I just really don't like how my body looks. I want to get a butt job or whatever they be doing. If that's what you want to do so you can feel good about you and not for somebody else, do that. Shit, it's your body. Do what you want to do. You know, me personally, I'm not like a plastic surgery type of person. But if that's what floats your boat, float your boat. Okay? You better float that boat how you need to float it. You know? So, and knowing that it's okay to not like certain things about yourself. You know? It's okay. But you can still love yourself and not like little things or be like, oh, I do that. You know, I don't like when I do this. Let me work on that. But when you really get to the root of those things and shift the energy and the vibration around it, like, okay, do you not like something about yourself because you feel like ashamed about it, or you just don't like it, or, you know, or it makes you feel embarrassed, or, you know, is it a traumatic experience? I'm sorry, we on 2%. I can't do this song like this. I can't do Sade like this. We can't be skipping. All right, we just gonna close this out. Yeah, because my phone battery is a little low and I want to make sure I'm able to save this. But, you know, and in you discovering how you feel about yourself, the good and the bad, you better hype up and celebrate those goods, okay? So there's a little bug right there. Celebrate those goods. You like, you know what? I might not like how my feet look, but I really like my hands. So we gonna focus on them hands, okay? If you don't like your feet, all right, get your feet done. You know, handle that. But really be like, yo, my hands is popping. You know, I really like my fingers. You know, I got some really pretty fingers, man. Like, you know, and really shift, you know, when you start harping on your feet, have an automatic thing to shift you to the other end of the spectrum in a positive way. Where it's like, all right, I don't like my feet, but I'm really, every time I look at my feet. But you know what? Let me focus on my hands. Let me look at my hands, you know, however that needs to look for you, you know, because, and mind you, I still do that. There's still times that really helps me with ruminating thoughts. Like when I ruminate on, you know, negative experiences and just past traumatic experiences and like resentment and stuff like that, I'd be like, you know, Nerese, stop. Stop thinking on the people that hurt you and think about the people who celebrate you. Even if it's like 5 to 20, think about them 5, okay? Until that 5 multiplies into 20, into 40, into 50, and so on, you know? Because that thing of law of attraction is really real. And, you know, I've seen it work without me trying. And I'm like, wow, if I really know how to channel this, I can manifest a great life for myself, and I can truly manifest love. And, and along with celebrating those, the things that you like, affirmations is everything. Whether it got to be motivational videos, whether it's affirmations, which I'm going to start posting on here. I'm going to start doing affirmations. However that needs to look. If you got to do a love ritual, if you got to, listen to certain music, read certain books, whatever that has to be, figure out that thing that makes you feel good. And, whether it's music or a certain song that like just gets you up and going and you make you want to twerk, they be trying to shame the ratchet, but ratchet stuff brings you to high vibrations. I swear it do. Tell me anybody who looks sad twerking. I never seen it. Never seen it. I never seen a sad twerk. Okay? Do the things that bring you joy. Even if you by yourself. And that's really the most important time to do it. Because nobody gonna do it for you. You gotta do it. So, and that's that on that. I want to wrap this up soon just because I already know my battery is getting low. But, when they go low, we go high. Okay? So I just want to close out and say, that was a fraction to my healing journey in my life. And because of that experience, I felt comfortable coming back onto this platform and providing services and products and energy that will elevate not only me, but the people who are in need of it. Because I know I felt low at one point and I was like, damn, this sucks. I wish I had somebody who understands. And I'm like, well, let me get through it so I can be that person to help somebody else who needs that understanding. And like I was saying in the first live before it cut off, I'm very intentional about the products that I have on here. I don't want to have anything on here that I don't feel passionate about, that I feel like I don't use, or that especially if I'm hand making it, I don't want to have anything on here that's going to be lackluster. So that's why I discontinued the hand wrapped smudge sticks. And started making the rose water, because I was like, you know what? I really feel confident about the love that I have for myself, and not in an egotistical way, but in a way that I feel like is healthy. And every now and then you got to brag and hype yourself up, because who else going to do it? And there are people who will do it, but it needs to come from you first, So with that said, I'm like, that's my phone warning me. Like, all right, girl, you getting close. Okay, so with that said, that's why I am, okay guys, come on, sizzle. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to take it as a positive thing. So I got my rose water. This is my personal one that I use for myself, and I spray it, after I take a shower, and I'm just like, yes, girl, I know I'm about to get dressed. I'm about to feel popping. I'm about to get beautified. I just want to amplify that goddess energy that's within. And not only is this rose water, but it goes through ritual where I charge it with Ashe and energy on Fridays for that love Venus vibration to amplify love within yourself. And like I said in the post that I had on Reels, the most important love spell that you can do, the only love spell really that we should be doing, is the love spell on ourselves. And that's that on that. I'm going to end on a little sound healing, sound cleansing work, and then we're going to close this out. Okay? Oh yeah, by the way, let me do my last little promotional moment. The rose water is $22.22. They're available online. I only have 5 available until I make the next batch, but I'm making small batches for now, so make sure you get you some before they run out. And this is made with the energy of the Gemini new moon to help overcome lack of confidence, whether it comes to new challenges and then new experiences in your life that you've always wanted to do, but you've just been scared to take that leap. Take you a shower, pray over your water. And then once you finish your shower or your spiritual cleanse, spray that on you. Do your affirmations in the mirror. Speak on how you're going to claim that thing that you're getting. how you gonna rock your day, how you popping, how you a goddess, how you a god to my dudes out here, you know, and really speak to power what you want to see in your life, especially if you want to manifest love or manifest confidence and self-worth within yourself. And mind you, it's not going to be overnight. It is a work in progress, but it will truly assist you. And I'm here to be an example and show you that, look, I was at the bottom of the barrel, baby, and climbed up, and we here with it. So on that note, healing for the root chakra, for security, grounding, and finding that inner balance and alignment. All right. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. May you be blessed. May you be cleansed. May you be healed. May you go about your life and your journey however you need to. May you raise the vibrations. We're going to do one last little cleanse through. We're going to do one last little cleanse. Okay? And may you continue to go about your day with love and ashe. Your girl Reese is here, peacing out.